Okay, so now I found out how to do this. There's a 10-minute recording thing. I was thinking, wow, 60 seconds, that's not very much. Okay, so I'm sorry for that. Okay, so what do I really want to say? I think we're all being silenced. And the fact that I just got over myself. This week was the right time to start posting to social media, because I don't want it to go away. Anywhere where we have an algorithm like this one is still and was, and who knows what it's going to be after the inauguration, is that this app allowed us to speak to each other in a very unfiltered way, without putting any hierarchy on this. So celebrities and people who were already established thought leaders, handpicked by the media and people with money, didn't have a bigger say here. It was all interest driven. It was all driven by the users. And that is something that we haven't seen before. What this does is something very important, because it allows us to share our authentic experiences with each other. It allows us to connect with each other in ways that we wouldn't see before, and it allows us to shape the narrative based on the actual human experience and not the one that we're sold. So when you can hear somebody else's experience, when you can hear these other ideas that other people are having, that it's not just you who's feeling this unrest. It's not just you that's feeling this injustice. It's not just you. You connect with everybody else, different genders, different countries, even different social class. Because let's be fair, there are right now going to become kind of just two, right? All of the rest of us who go from either extremely poor to quite comfortable, but nowhere close to where that 1% is. And even inside that 1%, it's shrinking. There are people there. It's a huge game of Monopoly, and we're getting to the end stages of that game, where they're getting everything. What happens when you play Monopoly? Somebody ends up with everything. Everybody else is bankrupt, and the game ends. But that's a game. This is real life, and those people at the top actually think this is a game. They actually think that they're playing in a simulation. We know that's different. We know this is real life, and there are actual people really suffering because of unmitigated, unregulated greed. And it's time for regulation. I say to my business students all the time, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make money. There's nothing wrong with being rich. There's nothing wrong with being a millionaire. This isn't about, coveting what these people have. Not at all. But there's something that happens when you go from just being successful, just being rewarded for a good idea and bringing people together, and then making that money because you've been taking it from other people. You are basically just exploiting the worker to get more. And the more that happens, the more inequity there is. And what is their end game? Like, when we all have no money left, what, are we supposed to just die? Is that it? Where's your economy? An economy runs because there are people in it to spend money. And people who are hoarding wealth are not spending that. The only reason for money to be there is to be exchanged for goods and services. That was its original purpose. And now it's become this dick measuring contest between a few people at the top. That wasn't money's purpose. Remember, money's not real. We used to barter and trade actual goods and services. And then it just was easier, accounting-wise, to make, a stand-in for that. But money is supposed to be a stand-in for goods and services. And that's the value that the worker brings. We're the ones with the ideas. We're the ones who produce the product. And if we can't buy those products and services, if they're priced out of us, then the economy just comes to a standstill. Where do they think they're getting those things? Now they think AI is going to do it for them. Keep us out. Then we do die. It doesn't matter to them. But what's the purpose? Their products and services have to be bought by somebody. A rich person can only buy so many cars, and they don't. They really don't. There is a cap. The mega rich really don't spend their money. They live quite modestly most of the time. Like Elon Musk was going around sleeping on people's couches. They're not putting that money back into the economy. So we talk about a strong economy that we have to boost and give, subsidies and stuff to these mega rich people. It's bullshit. They don't spend the money they have. Not nearly enough. I'd have no problem with them being rich if they were actually putting it back into the economy, actually using it to help raise up other people. If they were doing it to actually, give microloans to people to start other businesses so that we all rise together. A rising tide raises all boats. It's the hoarding of wealth that is the problem. And we need to rise up against that. That is something we need to do. And we need to take our voice back. And we have to stop buying into this narrative. There's so much propaganda out there meant to limit us and keep us down. We are all capable of amazing creativity and amazing determination. Don't let them beat you down. Don't let them tell you they're less than you. You're exactly as valuable in this system, if not more, by the value that you bring. The only thing holding you back is yourself. And it's because you've been abused. So of course you are. That limited thinking comes from abuse. You've all been abused. You've all been taken advantage of. So of course we're going to think we're worthless. But you're not. You're not worthless. You are worth far more than they're telling you are. Get out there and be it. Bring your value to the table. Really, creativity and problem-solving skills and all of those things are born through struggle. Why are Canadian engineers the best in the world? Because they have to work against this environment outside, right? The snow and the ice. And so through the struggle, you have to get creative to come up with good solutions. That is exactly what struggle does for all of us. We struggle every day. The regular worker struggles every day. And so we become so good at exercising our problem-solving skills. And they steal that from us. We don't get fairly compensated for it. We're the ones doing the work. We're the ones adding the value in the companies. It's time to take back the means of production. And TikTok allowed us to do that. That's why they're shutting it down. So, fight back. The French did. The Dutch did. They ate their prime minister. Well, they ate his liver anyway. But you see that protest works more in countries like that because people have a reminder of a very grisly past. Not advocating violence, but there's more of us than there are of them. Doesn't have to be violent. We can take it back just by standing up. And certainly by not just going along with it. Don't go along with it. So many things have happened in human history where people just went along with it because it was easier than resisting. Resistance, conflict, it's difficult. And a lot of people avoid it. Don't avoid it. You avoid it at your peril and the peril of all of us. Milgram, his famous, prison experiments, he's got issues and stuff with how, his methods and everything. But he did say that 80% of people will just follow orders, will just blindly follow authority. That is how these things happen. So you think, how could the Nazis have done that? Like, how could German people have just gone along with it? They didn't. 20% of them didn't. 20% of them joined the Prussian army. 20% of them were sneaking people out of the country. 20% of them stood up. But those necks were cut, right? And then you don't have those people. And you don't have those people as role models for another generation. It's important to resist. I understand not everybody's capable of it. But if you are, don't let them beat you down. Wake up. Resist. Resist. They can't take all of us. They really can't. And if they do, well, bring it on. Let them try. But I'm a Canadian here telling you I'm behind you. And we've got this. Rise up. Make your voice count. And we'll find each other. We will. I'm not laying my sword down ever. Those who know me know. I stay in for what's right. I will fight mega corporations. I will fight inequity wherever I see it. When I see something wrong, it needs to be fixed. So I'm here for you. I'm here to support you in your fight. If you need any advice on how you can, I'm here. I'm a teacher. I'm here to talk to you. I'm easy to talk to. I'm here. We're here for each other. So let's do it. Let's take them down. Let's not let them win. I can hear the people saying, it's time.